What's up, y'all? Share this video. Share this video. Shout out to everybody. Share this video. Share this video. Who that right there? McCann Cornell. Rasan Hill, what up? John Crook. Sidebar. Check me out. Carlos Muhammad, Charles Green. Check me out. Check me out. Y'all gotta share this video. Y'all gotta share this video. Share the video. Jamal, what up? Jamal. Share the video. Share the video over there. Share the video over there. Share it over there. Share the video right there. Share it over there. Share the video. Get a video a thumbs up. 50 people in here. I got 8 thumbs up. Only 8. The Southern District of New York. Who that right there? Keenan. Catherine Sinkfield. What's up, Catherine? The Southern District of New York. Supposedly the most elite level prosecution administration in the world. Ivy League lawyers, Harvard Law School, Yale Law School, University of Penn Law School, Columbia Law School, all the top law schools, Ivy League Law School, and Puffy still beat him. Puffy still beat him. Puffy still beat him. Puffy beat him. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Puffy still won. All of the prosecutors, I want to thank y'all for the 27 thumbs up. All of the prosecutors at the trial, 6 white females, Harvard University. 2 of them went to Harvard. 2 of them went to Yale. 1 went to Duke, and 1 went to the University of Pennsylvania. Supposed to be elite level. Supposed to be elite level law school. Supposed to be elite level. But they got beat. They got beat. They finished down here. They finished down here. They finished down there. Xavier Donaldson, Howard University Law School, historically black college. Tenny Garagos, Loyola School of Law, Los Angeles. Mark Agnifilo, Brooklyn School of Law. Jason Driscoll, New York University. Anna Estevao, New York University. Nicole Westmoreland, Stetson College of Law. Brian Steele, Fordham University. Jonathan Bach, Ivy League, Yale Law School. That's all right, though. Jonathan Bach down with us. It's all right, though. He could go to Ivy League. Jonathan Bach could go to Ivy League. Alexander Shapiro, Columbia Law School. Ivy League. But that's all right though. We accept Alexander Shapiro. All these lawyers didn't go to Ivy League schools, and they beat the Ivy League schools. They beat them. The Southern District of New York called 34 witnesses. 34. Puffy called 0, and he still won. Still beat him. They lost. No matter what they say, no matter what nobody say, everybody wanted Puffy to get convicted of the RICO and the 2 SEX trafficking charges so that they could trigger the asset forfeiture clause and take all of his wealth. That's what they wanted. And they failed. The biggest loss, this is the biggest loss in the history of federal trials. And those 6 assistant U.S. attorneys will forever, for the rest of their lives, even after their life, they will forever be tied to the greatest loss in the history of federal trials. %100%. And they cheated every day. The Southern District of New York cheated at trial every day. Puffy's lawyers, these Ivy League lawyers for the Southern District of New York, couldn't compete with Puffy's lawyers. It was not even close. It was not even close. The way that Brian Steele, the way that Tenny Garagos and Mark Agnifilo and Alexander Shapiro, the way they walked around the courtroom, it was as if they owned the courtroom. The Ivy League girls, the girls from the Ivy League, Connecticut, the Ivy League, they were all studious. They wore the same clothes every day, dark blue, dark black, dark blue, dark black, dark winter green. And they had no flavor. They had no flavor. They didn't look like nothing. All of the women reporters, all of the female YouTubers, all of the female TikTokers, all of the female Instagrammers and social media and mainstream media, every morning when Brian Steele walked up the street into court, the girls was on his job. The girls was sweating him. Because every day he came, he had the dope fade, the dope shape up, clean shaven, dope suit. And the honeys was on Brian Steele because he looked like something. Xavier Donaldson, every time you saw him, he had on the dope fitted suit with the tie and the goddamn shades. You understand? Tall. He tall. He tall too. He like 6'2". And he black. He jet black. That nigga black as a motherfucker. That nigga jet black. But he was clean. He looked like something when he came to the courtroom. Tenny Garagos, she tall. She taller than me. But that ain't hard to do because I'm a short nigga. I'm only 5'7". Tenny Garagos had the fly gear on every day. Tenny Garagos was wearing like high top shoes and shit with bell bottoms. She had them bell bottoms. You know them baggy ass pants? She wear them baggy ass pants, bell bottoms with some high heels and a fly blouse. And she looked better than the Ivy League girls. Tenny Garagos looked better than Maureen Comey. She looked better than Mitzi Steiner. She looked better than Christy Slavic. She looked better than Emily Johnson. She looked better than Meredith Reddick Smizer. Tenny Garagos looked better than all of them. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And yo, check this out. Check this out. Sharper than a number 2 pencil. Tenny, when she was cross-examining Jane Doe, you know, fake Jane Doe? Jane Doe, who Puffy helped Jane Doe and her son, yet Jane Doe got on the stand and testified as a government witness against Puffy to send him to prison for life. That is not a friend. When Tenny Garagos was cross-examining Jane Doe, Tenny, she got long hair. She was playing with her hair, fumbling around with the binder, you understand? In the courtroom, put her hair. You know how them women be having them clips and shit to clip their hair? Tenny had one of them. She took her shit, she said, roll up, bang. And she cross-examined Jane Doe and made Jane Doe cry on the stand. She made Jane Doe start crying. Yes, she did. Jane Doe started crying on the stand. Yes, she did. Started crying. Brian Steele, yeah, the butterfly clip, Love Trial, the butterfly clip joint. Tenny had the fly gear. I used to see Tenny in the hallway. She told Tenny be walking like this. And she had big bell bottoms on, big ass bell bottoms, fly gear. And she got there and put that hair up. She made Jane Doe start crying on the stand. Brian Steele made Mia cry on the stand. Mia started crying. Mia, who was suing Puffy for $10 million, who was fucking Puffy behind Cassie's back. Mia said she was Cassie's best friend. Mia looked Cassie in her eye and said, "We best friends." And Cassie said, "Yeah, we best friends." And Mia was fucking Puff behind Cassie's back. Puffy was fucking both of them. Yes, he was. 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 That came out at the trial. that came out at the trial. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Got that beat. Puffy, while Puffy, Cassie was in South Africa shooting her movie, and Puffy sent Mia down there to accompany Cassie to South Africa. Puffy paid for Mia's transportation, her flight, hotel, and Puffy paid for Cassie's trip to South Africa. And while Cassie was in South Africa, Cassie was having a relationship, a sexual, intimate relationship with Michael B. Jordan. Now, while Cassie was in South Africa, Puffy took Gina to one of the award shows. Look at my new hoodie. Check my new hoodie out. If you want to get this hoodie, go on my website. The podcast was sold.bigcartel.com. Puffy took Gina, who did not testify against Puff. Gina, who wrote a letter to the judge in favor of Puff, telling the judge to let Puffy out. Puffy took Gina to an award show. So when everybody saw Puffy and Gina at the award show, everybody started texting Cassie because they thought Gina was Cassie, saying, "Oh, Cassie, I saw you and Puff tonight. That dress you had on, it looks so nice. You look so beautiful." And Cassie texting him back like, "That wasn't me. I'm in South Africa. Who did Puffy go to the goddamn award show with?" Cassie found out that Puffy took Gina to the award show. Cassie got mad. Puffy is calling Cassie. Puffy calling Cassie back to back. "Baby, please answer the phone. Baby, please. I love you, baby. Please, 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 baby, answer the phone. Please, 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 please." Cassie is upset. She not answering the phone. So Puffy then starts to call Mia to tell Cassie to call him. But he calling Mia. Voicemail. Call back. Voicemail. Call back. Voicemail. So Cassie ain't answering his phone calls, and neither is Mia. So Puffy get KK to call Cassie and Mia to tell both of them to call him immediately. They don't call Puff. Puffy texts Mia and say, "Look, if you don't call me, I'm gonna tell Cassie what me and you are doing." And when Puffy told Mia that, Mia called Puff. Yes, she did. In the greatest trial, in the biggest trial in New York City history, in the biggest trial in the federal system, the most high-profile trial ever in the history of this country, the Southern District of New York lost. It was a colossal failure. It was a massive defeat. And it was an embarrassment to the Southern District of New York. The Southern District of New York called 34 witnesses. Puffy called 0 witnesses. The jury acquitted him. That's what happened. And that can't be changed. Puffy still has his net worth, still has his catalog, still has his publishing, still has his homes, his money. So what? He's sitting in MDC Brooklyn. They cheated for that too. He should have been out. Should have been out. At the trial, the Southern District of New York engaged in prosecutorial misconduct, the admission of perjury into the record, unconstitutional circumvention of the law, and just a butchering of federal trial law. And they lost. And that is in the record books. It's in the history books. And it cannot be changed. You got to give Puffy credit. That man took his money. He did not cooperate and become a rat like Al Sharpton. He did not cooperate and become a rat like Tekashi 6ix9ine, Young Thug, Gunna, Little Woody. He took his money and he told the government, let's go to trial. Present your case. And he fought for his family, and he fought for his life, his legacy, and everything that he owned. And he won. He kept fighting throughout the whole time. Tried to get bail, what, 4 times, 5 times? Denied every time. But he still kept fighting. He never allowed his spirit to be broken. Even from within MDC Brooklyn today, Puffy is filing an appeal, still fighting. And these are lessons that we need to take heed to, is that you continue to fight. You continue to stand up for yourself. Look at how bleak, look at his circumstance. Look at where Puff is, but he's still fighting. A lot of us, we got on nice clothes, driving a car, refrigerator full of food, nice bed, and we don't fight. You gotta fight, no matter what. And because he fought, he has his life. Has nothing to do with God, nothing to do with a religious book. It has everything to do with him, his choices, his judgment, and his decisions. And he prevailed. Jay Clayton, the United States Attorney for the Southern District of New York, who is the chief federal officer in the Southern District of New York, stood by and allowed on his watch perjury, prosecutorial misconduct, and unconstitutional law be practiced by members of his team, his subordinates. And he did nothing. He said nothing. This makes the United States Attorney from the Southern District of New York complicit in the prosecutorial misconduct, the over-sentencing of Puff, the over-prosecution, toothpick fella, and just the big mess. What should have happened as a leader of an organization, if you were going to lead and teach those who report to you, those coming up behind you, that you have to be a true administrator of justice. You have to do justice the right way. And the right thing to do would have been to come out and speak out and tell his people, you don't do that. You don't perjure. You don't put witnesses on the stand that perjure themselves. You don't do that. You don't do prosecutorial misconduct and violate the attorney-client privilege of the defendant. You don't do that. You don't leak false information to the press to destroy public opinion of the defendant prior to trial, to poison the jury pool so he can't get a fair trial. This is what a true United States attorney, this is how they should behave. This is what should have been done, but it wasn't. The United States Attorney before Jay Clayton was Damian Williams. He started this whole mess. This loss is on his jacket. Jay Clayton inherited this mess. Yet and still, he didn't step forward and conduct himself and do his job and fulfill the duties and the responsibilities of the United States Attorney. The Southern District of New York has taken a major hit to its brand. The whole world watched and saw the Southern District of New York prosecute an innocent black man in 2025. Innocent. Sean, how do you say he's innocent? Well, let me tell you. Number one, a jury of his peers acquitted him of the RICO. Number two, a jury trial, 12 members of the jury acquitted him of the 2 counts of sex trafficking. Number three, the Mann Act charges should have never been brought, because under the policy of the Department of Justice, Mann Act charges are not to be brought only unless they involved commercial gain. Puffy did not make 1 penny off of the Mann Act charge that they charged him with. So what you have is an innocent man whose character has been assassinated, whose family name has been assassinated, an attempt to tarnish his legacy. All of these things were done to an innocent man. The jury said he was innocent of RICO. The jury said that he was innocent of sex trafficking. Yet, he sits in MDC Brooklyn. This is 2026, United States of America, still over prosecuting foundational Black American men. In 2026, the United States of America, through the Southern District of New York, is over sentencing foundational Black American men. In 2026, the United States of America, through the Southern District of New York, is assassinating the character of very wealthy and very popular foundational Black American men. This is the legacy, this is the history of the United States of America. This is the history of the United States of America criminal justice system. And it's still in effect today. I'm glad and I'm proud of Puff for fighting, and I'm happy for Puff for winning, for fighting for himself and winning. I stand behind Puff. I support Puff. Free Puff. And reunite Puff with his daughters and his boys and his mother. Shout out to Mark Agnifilo. Shout out to Tenny Garagos. Shout out to Alexandra Shapiro. Shout out to Jonathan Bott. Shout out to Jason Driscoll. Shout out to Xavier Donaldson. Shout out to Nicole Westmoreland. Shout out to Anna Estevello. Shout out to Brian Steele. Puffy's legal team will go down in history as the legal team that beat the shit out of the Southern District of New York. Puffy's legal team will go down in history as the victors, the winners, the champions of the most high-profile federal trial in the history of this country. Their names will ring into eternity and into the future as champions. The Southern District of New York, their names and their legacies will also ring on into eternity, but their names will ring on as the cheaters, as the prosecutors who engaged in misconduct, and ultimately as the losers of the most high-profile trial in the history of this country. And all of their names will be attached to it. Free Puff. Peace.